Right, another one up into a box. Can you lift it? Oh no, I can do it, I think. There, that's better. Forward just a little. Okay. The floors and the tops often don't quite fit, so that's fine. Right, so these desperately need the space. We would have done it sooner, but it was too hot. Oh, there's a bee. Is it? Yeah. Look, we're gonna have to put that somewhere. It's got a bee nest in it. Solitary bees. They're great ones for building their nests. So we'll try and put that one safely somewhere
Put it
else.
somewhere and take the perspex off.
And let the bees out, yeah. So we'll do our utmost to keep this safe for the poor solitary bee who's made a nice little nest just there. So we'll take these, the perspex off of here. So that these can come out. How they get in? I mean, how can you get in to do that? It's a mystery. I suppose there might be a tiny gap just there. Yeah, I assume she's got in from there. So we'll give them a chance to come out on their own, and then if necessary I'll carefully move that out. Then we'll bang the bees out, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with it. So far, stores. So Stuart will spread those out back and front.
Just spread them out at the front.
Oh, well, I spread them out back and front when I'm doing it, so that the brood nest is in the middle, because they don't like being against the wood. But we vary. You always get videos of Stuart, never of me. But we do different things. Nothing yet. That one looks as if it had brood on it, because they have been prioritising. It's likely that the flow is finished. We can't be sure. Depends. We need a bit of rain. As you can see, it looks as if it could rain. And we were just taking pictures over there. A little patch of brood. Right, that's a very odd one to have it on, as it's practically solid. As you can see, it's a bit crowded in there. Definitely should have gone up a bit sooner. Yeah, best laid plans. And we've been ready to do it, but it has been too hot. If you fiddle with wax at the temperatures we've had the last few days, it'll sag. These are the bees that we've recently set up this apiary. It's doing all right. I was going to try not to roll bees. It's very difficult in these. See, they're trying to squeeze stuff in wherever they can. I have to take that off because it will probably hit on that. So there, with luck, they'll draw the super when we give it to them, because it's a super of foundation.
Quite right. Get the terminology correct. It's important.
See, the bees are chaining. They're desperately looking for somewhere else to draw wax, so they're hanging in chains underneath. Not too bad, that isn't. That's in order to store all this that they've had in. Oh, look, we've got a thing at the back. Yeah, they've got nectar everywhere, haven't they? This big sheet of brood coming, I think, on this next one. But they're filling up still today. They're filling up every gap with nectar. So she's going to be struggling to find anywhere to lay. So we get a super on these, and they can move the well, they can have to draw it first, then they can move the nectar up. Not ideal, but we've used all our drawn supers. I'm going to take this off because when they put it back together again, this will match with the other one, and you end up squashing bees. I hate it when they do that. Some bees do and some bees don't. Sure, it's gently shaking them off so he gets rid of the bees that are chaining, so he can look for the queen. He likes to see the queen. Well, we all do, don't we? When we move them up into a box, you do like to see the queen. Then you know you've moved her over. However, especially at this time of year when there are so many bees, sometimes I think you just can't do it, and we don't fret about it. Not too much anyway. My name's going to be mad if I keep sticking my hand in there and interfering. Let's just take the bottom off. It doesn't like them. Are you going to try and get the 12th one in?
Yeah, it's a good one.
They have to come out eventually, but the idea is not to take away their space. Oh, you'll have to take that side off, Stuart. I'll then curse every time I go through it because don't think it's going to.
No, it's not.
No. Spread them out a bit. If you leave a gap at the back like that, they'll put they'll make comb in it, and then everything's a mess then. So there's this whole thing about bee space. I don't know if you know about bee space, but there's a certain space that just about really what a bee can walk through, and they won't put any comb in if you keep the spaces that small. So that's what these little lugs are for. They're meant to keep every space just right. Doesn't always work. But
Cell spacing, bee spaces.
yes, Hoffman's. Yes. You are not wrong. Right, there's a lot on the front, my love. I'm just warning you because of your hand. I'm just going to say why I think that the the flow could well be over now, because it's been so dry, as you can see. I mean, this is on hardcore, so it's not to be surprised, but look at these over here. The raspberries have all burnt off in the extreme heat we've had over the last few days. The blackberries are okay, they're very deep rooted, because it has affected them a bit, but it hasn't actually killed them, whereas a lot of the raspberries have died right back. There is still some raspberry, yeah, so there is still some blackberry flowers out for them. There's not much left now. We need a good amount of rain, and then everything will come and start giving again. Right, makes you wonder how we got that many bees in that smaller box, doesn't it? But right, I better switch this off and deal with that solitary bee nest.